First off, can we believe that the Miz is on the poster for No Mercy and I'm not pissed off about it? What's up, everybody? Wiser here to give my preview and predictions for the No Mercy pay-per-view coming up this Sunday. Now, typically I have it all written out in my mind, the direction I want to go with my preview and prediction videos, but I've missed the last SmackDown and I missed the last Talking Smack, so I'm not too fresh on where everything has been going or where everything kind of led up to with the Go Home show. So I typically don't do this, but I'm just gonna spitball everything in my mind out into this mic and hopefully it makes sense. I mean, you'll at least get a prediction, but I'm just going to be like kind of fighting it. It'll almost be like one of my reviews where I'm just rambling my thoughts and direction. It'll all make sense once we get to it. But if you are a fan of wrestling, wrestling talks, wrestling podcasts, wrestling reviews, please be sure to subscribe to the channel. If you are new, in the comment section, you don't got to do much. All I ask you to do is just write that you are new to the channel. Because I like to see who's new. New people that come aboard. I want to see you and I want to make sure that I greet you. So this show has some pretty interesting matches. And I must say that I always say this, but I like the direction that SmackDown is going. And I think a lot of people like the direction that SmackDown is going, in which is trying to if not production-wise separate itself from Raw, but at least feel-wise. And I think that it's starting to feel different. It's definitely feeling different than Raw. It's definitely feeling better than Raw. Whereas Raw is feeling status quo, as if the draft never happened and they're following the same format and the same formula. SmackDown is not. Not at all. They're trying to build new characters. They're trying to propel these people that they brought up from NXT. They're trying to give storylines, and they're trying to make people feel important. The best example I can give is The Miz. Another good example I could give is AJ Styles. Whereas if it was still on Raw, oh boy. You also got Jack Swagger, who he's gonna be on the Kickoff show match. All right, so let's talk about the card. Let's talk about the card. And let's just break down how I feel about the matches before we move on into our predictions. The Jack Swag'em versus the Baron Corbin. Baron Corbin on yet another Kickoff show match. I don't necessarily like that. I'm not a fan of that because I think that Baron Corbin should be much higher up on the card by now. Maybe they're doing a slow burn with him, trying to get all of the big name guys out of the title picture before they start bringing Baron Corbin up, and I can understand that. Or maybe they're building up for that IC title. Maybe they're building up that mid card. I don't know, because they don't have much depth. I wish that the guys that are coming from NXT all don't just go to Raw as the women have been going. They all been going to Raw. Not really much for SmackDown. I mean, you even got a cruiserweight division on Raw now. Raw is completely overstacked, and a lot of those guys can come over to SmackDown because they're not even getting TV time. You could think of a Sami Zayn, Cesaro, and Sheamus. They probably could have made it to SmackDown. Some of those cruiserweight guys, they could have put them on SmackDown. Samoa Joe, when he comes, I pray that he comes to SmackDown. That'd be the best move for Samoa Joe. But it definitely needs more depth, because when we think of the divisions, the world title division, you have the IC division, it's just not a lot of contenders for those belts. I mean, think about it. In the world championship part of the show, you have AJ Styles, Dean Ambrose, John Cena, Randy Orton, and possibly Bray Wyatt. Pretty much stops there. Then we look at the IC division. You got Jack Swagger, Baron Corbin, Miz if he wins, Ziggler, I guess Apollo Creed. I mean, you don't really, that about it. That's about it. Like, you don't have much to work with here, whereas Raw, They probably have more people not on shows than there are people on the roster of SmackDown. So the people on SmackDown do feel a bit more special than the guys on Raw because you don't see them wrestle all the time. And that's a good thing. So you have Jack Swagger and Baron Corbin. Then you have Nikki Bella and Carmella. I love what they're doing there. We're going to talk about it. Becky Lynch and Alexa Bliss. Again, using a known star, just like in the Nikki Bella Carmella match, using a known star to elevate some new blood, Alexa Bliss. Again, love it. The Tag Team Championship match with Heath, Slater, and Rhino against the Usos. You're working a lot of character here. You're building up the gimmicks. The Usos' new character as heels. You're building up Heath Slater. Well, they've already done their building. I guess that they're finished building Heath Slater. And then you got Rhino, who might be leaving so that he could do his political gimmick thing. So you got some stuff to work with there. I think that they might have cooled off on Heath. I don't know. I hope that they didn't. Maybe he's a better chaser than he is a champion. So we'll talk about that. You have Miz and Ziggler. Just a ton of interest in this. So much work and development has gone into Miz. Ziggler, I guess they're trying to give you a reason to care about the guy. But hey, there's a plus there. Randy Orton and Bray Wyatt. It's their attempt at some type of weird, twisted, psychotic, silly storyline thing there. At least they have a storyline. And then you have your World Championship match with AJ Styles, Dean Ambrose, and John Cena. You have the face that runs the place versus the guy that wants to go for 16 titles versus Dean Ambrose, the guy that is still searching to become a top star. So there's something with all of these matches. There's something here. And on paper, again, say about a month ago, if you see this card on paper, you wouldn't give a fluff. You might care about the Randy Orton Bray Wyatt match, might, and I lose that term loosely. You would definitely care about the World Championship Triple Threat match, and maybe, just maybe, would you care about Becky Lynch versus Alexa Bliss? Maybe, and that's stretching it. But with the way that SmackDown has been portraying their characters, you can kind of care about everything on this card. Everything on this card, with the exception of the Kickoff show match, everything on this card has implementations on where they can go in the future, and more development. So let's start off with the Kickoff show match with Jack Swagger and Baron Corbin. Like I said earlier, I'm not a fan of Baron Corbin being on these Kickoff show matches. He should be elevated a lot more. But again, maybe they're holding him off, trying to get everybody out of the way so that he can start getting his way into the World Championship picture. A match against Jack Swagger. Hopefully they have Jack Swagger look strong, but I got the Baron Corbin going over here. I would probably like for Jack Swagger. Nah, Jack Swagger's a guy that needs someone. He needed Zeb Coulter and he needed Cesaro to help him. He's not that particularly great on his own. He needs a mouthpiece. And Zeb Coulter was the best for this guy, especially with the We the People thing. I'm still kind of tight that they got rid of Zeb Coulter because he's the thing that made Jack Swagger work. It's almost as if this is a really bad comparison, but let's just elevate the comparison and say Brock Lesnar and Paul Heyman on a much bigger scale. Imagine Brock Lesnar without Paul Heyman right now. People would probably have turned on Brock Lesnar by now because without Paul Heyman, there isn't really much interest in Brock because there's no hype man for Brock's accomplishments, especially with the way WWE books things, where they book people way too fucking strong, never lose or never lose clean. If you don't have Paul Heyman, I don't think that works. Now we look at a Jack Swagger. When you had him with Zeb Coulter being that mouthpiece made Jack Swagger work, and without him, he's squandering. So I actually I wouldn't have Jack Swagger win this because he's still missing that piece. What could they give Jack Swagger to help him get over? I don't know. I really don't know right now, but hopefully they find something. I got Baron Corbin winning this match, and I do expect it to be a pretty good match. It's not one of those spot fest matches that people like. It's just a down, gritty, strong fight that we'll see here with Swagger and Corbin, and those are the matches that I typically like. I'm going to go in the I'm not going to do this in order of what I think is going to start the show to end the show. I'm just going to go in order of what they have on here, but in reverse. So I have Nikki Bella and Carmella, which obviously is not going to start the show. Right? I mean, do you start it with the tag team match? I don't know. But Nikki Bella and Carmella. This is great. This is great. You're trying to get the new upstart Carmella over. You had her turn heel, which has worked immensely for her character. You have Nikki Bella, who's been like the face of the women's divas division for years on end, and Carmella's trying to make a name for herself. That's the perfect setup. That's pretty much all you need. Carmella has been just smashing Nikki Bella every chance she get. Carmella's about that action. She ain't trying to talk. She about that action. And you know how I feel about people being about that action. Drop the mic, punch him in the face. And that's pretty much what Carmella's doing, and that's why I like what she's been doing. And as a character, again, she's just been one-upping Nikki Bella every chance she get, and she let it be known. You're the standard around here. And I'm going to come after you until I make a name for myself. And I love it. Now, the odds tell you that Nikki Bella is going to win because Carmella has just been smashing her every chance she gets. But I would prefer if Carmella wins so that you keep the heat on Carmella. You got to keep the heat on it because that's her payoff. If she's been talking all this smack and she's been beating up Nikki Bella every chance she got, and then she comes out and loses when it matters, you kind of cut the legs from under her. Also, because of the women's championship match, I think you gotta have Carmella win here, because the other new girl is not going to win. And speaking of which, so Carmella's my winner. I'm gonna move into that SmackDown Women's Championship match with Becky Lynch and Alexa Bliss. Alexa Bliss, she's been doing okay. Becky Lynch, she's been doing okay as a champion. Like, you know me, I like my champions to look strong, right? But Becky Lynch is a face, so she has to have some vulnerability. But it's just not believable that Alexa Bliss could just run up on her and just smash her. Like, it just doesn't look believable at all. I mean, neither does the Carmella and the Nikki Bella thing, but they made it work. But the thing with Alexa Bliss, again, if you watch my Raw reviews, I talked about Alexa Bliss. I'm just not a fan of the whiny temper tantrum heel, bratty heel that she is. It's just, and for me, it just doesn't work. That's just for me. You guys might like it. I don't know. Becky Lynch, they just put this title on her, and it's a huge payoff because they owed Becky this, and they owe her an extended run. My question is, where the fluff is Eva Marie? Where is Maybe she interferes in the Nikki Bella Carmella match? But where is the Eva Marie? The Eva Marie needs to show up on this pay-per-view. We need our Eva. We need our Glorious. But I got Becky Lynch winning this mainly because Alexa Bliss just ain't ready for no damn title. Let's be real here. The odds, I'm pretty sure the odds on favorite is like 1 million to 1 Becky Lynch to Alexa Bliss. We don't even have to talk about that one. Heath, Slater, and Rhino versus the Usos. Look, Usos taking these titles, boy. These Usos are taking these titles. These thugs, the Usos, are... Look, it's not rocket science. It's not rocket science. It's not hard to figure out. Bet your money on the Usos. Heath, Slater, and Rhino, they won those titles so that Heath Slater could get that feel-good moment. He could get his his contract, and then they can move forward. Okay, they've done that, and they've moved forward. Now it's time to get punched in your face by these thugs, the Usos. Usos are hot right now. That heel turn is exactly what they needed. Hopefully they find an attire that fits them and they're not just changing into random thuggery gear every week, because some of their I was about to say uniforms, but some of their attire just looks a bit much. They reminded me of Hunico and Camacho, and I don't think that's the route they want to go down. But as far as their ring work and their demeanor, give me the Usos all day. Not really much needs to be said about this. Rhino got shit to do. Heath Slater got his payoff. Now it's time to slap them titles on the Usos so that they can continue to punch American Alpha and everybody else in the face. I mean, think about it. Heath Slater and Rhino, are they going to draw as tag team champions going forward? Or are the Usos going to be a draw? Got to put my money in the Usos. Intercontinental Championship match. The Miz versus Wolf Ziggler. In a retirement match. If Wolf loses, he must retire. Now, I didn't see the segment, but I heard all about the Spirit Squad segment. And I need to go back and watch that. But Miz has just been so fucking gold in everything that he has been doing on SmackDown since Talking Smack. I mean, oh my God. Right now, The Miz might be the best booked wrestler in WWE. He might be the most invested wrestler in WWE. Granted, when it comes to a main event guy, he's always taking the pin. I don't like that. For example, Randy Orton, he took the pin there. And then he was in that tag team match with AJ and he took a pin there. I don't like that. But outside of that, Miz has just been money on the mic in his segments. The rest of it, his matches with Ziggler. Miz has been money. And Wolf Ziggler has been a loser. Now there's talk backstage about Wolf taking a different role backstage. They want him to be not an agent, but they want him to be something backstage. I don't know. And they're not really using this guy correctly. Honestly, I think that all of that is a ruse. I think Ziggler wins this match for the payoff, for the feel-good moment that people aren't going to care about because people are invested in The Miz. I think everything they're doing with Ziggler is for a swerve, and it's a bad move taking this title off of Miz. So bad that usually I'd say I'm about 60-40 if I'm undecided. I'm about 49-51 Ziggler. 49-51 Ziggler. That's how close. I'm about 49.9 to 50.1 Ziggler. 0.1 Ziggler. I don't want Miz to lose this match. And I pray that I'm wrong about this. Because you give Miz so much more material if he beats and retires the Wolf. I want Miz to win this match. I can't believe I've become such a fan of The Miz. With the Maryse and the whole package of The Miz. I can't believe it. You guys know for years I hated The Miz. Genuinely hated this guy. And he's won me over as a heel. He's doing it right. They just got to have him win more. Keep the guy special. Don't have him losing squash matches to a Randy Orton. Don't have him eating a pin in matches that he doesn't even benefit from being in. Keep this guy special. Randy Orton versus Bray Wyatt. Oh boy. First let me say this. I got Bray Wyatt winning. Mainly because everybody else have him losing. I got Bray Wyatt winning. And I am so disheartened in myself. I'm so ashamed of myself for being a Bray Wyatt fan when I have seen the light I have seen better. I have seen the Wyatt family done better with the Decay. Oh my God, I started binge watching some TNA a little bit with the Decay. Those guys, Bram and fucking the Hardys. WWE, how the fuck does TNA beat you in character development, production, and just overall feel, development? What the fuck? Bro, the Decay not only does the Wyatt family correctly, and they put the titles, like, yo, what the fuck? I don't even want to see Bray Wyatt on my screen after witnessing the Decay. I don't want to see Bray Wyatt on my screen. I don't want to see the Wyatt family. You know what? Give me my pick back. Give me my prediction back. Give me Randy Orton just like everybody else. Randy's going to lose, but give me Randy Orton just like everybody else. Fuck Bray Wyatt. Fuck WWE. How does TNA do it better? How? I just sat there and binge watched, and I was just so invested, just so engulfed into the characters of the Decay. Not because of the Hardys, because I watched more. I watched the Decay just do the Decay stuff. And oh my God. Just, what the, yo. Just those characters. And it made me realize, WWE, you don't have any fucking characters. There's no characters in WWE. And the Wyatts and the Wyatt family were the closest thing to characters that they had. And WWE likes making characters. And they don't have any characters. What? Mind blown. I am mind blown right now. Why am I not recording this on camera? I'm doing all these like gestures right now. You guys don't see any of it. But there's my prediction. Whichever one you got out of that was my prediction. Fuck the Wyatts and fuck WWE for fucking up on this. Just flat out. Come on, man. Come on. TNA? TNA. On production, on character, on development, on building, and on making feel important. TNA beat WWE in what WWE specializes in. I can't believe it. Hell, they even had characters with the Ascension and they killed that off. If you have a character, don't go to WWE because you will die a harmful death. World Championship match, the AJ Styles, the phenomenal one, the face that runs the place, the something about a camp and a champ and something else with him and AJ Styles versus the Dean Ambrose versus, look, AJ Styles is winning. All right, look. Let's just go on ahead, get that out of the way. If AJ Styles loses, he wins this title back immediately on SmackDown. John Cena got shit to do. He's busy. He's going to go be Hollywood somewhere. He's going to be Hulk Hogan. The Dean Ambrose, he's searching for himself. He's searching. Dean Ambrose needs someone. And honestly, I think that this right here is a good pairing. This, hear me out. And in the comment section, please. Fucking begging for comments here. In the comment section, let me know how you feel about this pairing with Dean Ambrose. A Dean Ambrose heel turn with a crazy Alexa Bliss. Now, I want you to think back to the Jon Moxley days. And think of Dean Ambrose's character there. And the little chick that he had there. I think that type of Dean Ambrose. And then the Alexa Bliss that we have now, like, she needs to be like slutty or what's that word? She needs to be sleazy. We need sleazy Ambrose and Alexa Bliss. I think that's a pairing that could work. Mainly because Alexa Bliss can actually play characters. Or at least she can feel like a character. I think that something like that works. Dean Ambrose by himself just doesn't work. He needs something. He needs something to build off of. That's usually when Dean's at his best, and he's usually at his best when he's gritty and sleazy. So Dean Ambrose loses. John Cena got shit to do. AJ Styles wins. Maybe Dean Ambrose and John Cena go off into a small feud in which Dean Ambrose sends John Cena off into Hollywood as a miniature write-off, or as a miniature. They got to give Dean Ambrose something to work with, or Dean Ambrose some material to work with. And AJ Styles, I don't know, he finds some shit to do. But anyway, that's all I have for you in this prediction video. You got 26 minutes of greatness. Please like the video, subscribe if you're new, and don't forget, if you are new, let me know in the comment section below so I can greet you. Follow me on the Twitters at WYZNOW, WYZNOW, and any other links that you need will be in the description. Have a good weekend, and I hope you guys enjoy the pay-per-view. I'm sure I will.